This is the top 3 ways to boost testosterone as a natural. This is a full guide, so get ready. There's not going to be high dopamine edits like I usually do, kind of. This is going to be pure value, 100% unfiltered information. Now, boosting my testosterone is how I went from fat, anxious, with zero confidence to someone who's in shape, almost zero anxiety, and a lot of confidence. Go join the free Discord server if you are on self-improvement. It's in the top link in description. I'll talk about it further more later into the video, but that's all I need to say for now. Let's move on. Number 1 is diet. Think of a pyramid. The very top is the most important. Diet is at the top of the pyramid, followed with sleep. There are so many ways you could fuck up with your diet without you even noticing, and it could be destroying your testosterone levels. First, foods to avoid while trying to get and maintain high levels of testosterone. Number 1 is seed oils, number 2 is sugar. Seed oils, which is PUFAs basically, are high in omega 6s. We do not want to increase our omega 6 to omega 3 ratio and make it imbalanced. Nearly 100% of the population has this ratio imbalanced, including me, and this is while knowing these things. So don't cope while watching this video saying, oh, my ratio is balanced, I don't eat a lot of junk food, or I eat fish like once a week. Seed oils are so bad that it's even worse than sugar for your T levels. Sugar has been seen as this worst thing that could ever come to mankind, and something that we're eating in our plates every day is worse than that for our T levels. Let me just get this disclaimer up here. When I say PUFAs, I know that PUFAs include omega 3, but I'm talking about most PUFAs being omega 6. So omega 3 is actually goated for testosterone, so I'm talking about omega 6 here. To keep your omega 3 to omega 6 ratio balanced, you need to be eating foods high in omega 3s. Examples of foods high in omega 3s: mackerel, salmon, and sardines. Now, in short, just eat fatty fish. Taking action on this slide alone will significantly boost your testosterone and androgen status, also depending on what your previous ratio was. But I would say this is one of the biggest reasons why men have low testosterone. It is diet, right? But there's so many things that go on the diet, and I think seed oils is one of the biggest things that is destroying men's testosterone level. I'm sure you've heard this around in this testosterone boosting industry. Oh, for some reason I can't pass the 600-700 mark. It's mainly got to do with little things that keep on adding up. Stuff like these that is keeping you at average testosterone level, and sometimes even low, right? Now let's move on. One of the most important minerals for hormone production, not just testosterone, zinc. There are so many micronutrients that I could talk about, but I can't fit it all into one video. But zinc is the mineral that most of the population is deficient in. Why? Because it's quite simple. Eating loads of phytates, which is basically grains, right? Cereals, rice, stuff like that, can make you deficient, especially if you're not eating the foods high in zinc. You might think, Arda, why is it different to any other nutrient? Why can't I just eat foods high in zinc? And now this is where another important point comes up. Foods high in zinc are very hard to find. The only two options you have is red meat or oysters. And the second option there, 99% of the population won't eat it, especially if you're living in UK or something, right? So we have to eat red meat every single day. And the more phytates you eat, the more red meat you have to eat. If you don't eat these foods nearly every day, you run the risk of destroying your testosterone. Now, can you see why so many men have low testosterone? A mineral that you are probably not getting enough of: choline. If you do not eat at least 4 eggs a day with meat, then you are probably deficient in choline. Intense exercise also depletes your choline, which is even more of a reason to eat more foods rich in choline. Now, I'm guessing if you clicked on this video, you probably work out. And if you work out, you probably do weightlifting, you probably might do running, you might do a martial art. All of that is intense exercise. And what does it do? It depletes your choline and actually other minerals. So you need to actually be eating more of these foods, higher than the daily requirement. And how do you get your choline, you might ask? Eat eggs. One egg gives you about 20% of your daily requirement. So if you eat 5 eggs a day, that's done. Or you could eat 4 eggs a day and eat meat, which is enough. I just clocked how random this is. There's eggs and red meat, and then you just see Goku go Super Saiyan. But the point is, the reason why I'm putting so much anime is like testosterone equals rage, strength, and Super Saiyan is literally the embodiment of that. Number 2, train like a man. HIIT, which is high intensity interval training, and heavy high volume weightlifting boost testosterone. And notice how I put emphasis on high volume, because if you lift very heavy weights under 5 reps, then studies shown that it doesn't actually increase your testosterone levels. You need to be going over 8-10 reps to actually get a boost in your testosterone. You're probably confused about the second picture, and I'll get later into why I put that. Doing a couple of bicep curls isn't enough here. Train hard, sweat, use your entire body. The more muscles you use, the better. Try and add 3 sets of squats and lunges at the beginning of your workout to increase your testosterone. Do not make your workout longer than an hour, and this explains the picture right here. If you work out for a long time, after 1 hour, right, if it gets to 2 hours, 3 hours, you actually destroy your testosterone and you increase with something called cortisol. And cortisol is basically what we don't want. It's the stress hormone. Cortisol pretty much does what the opposite of testosterone does. Obviously, cortisol is needed for survival and everything, but especially nowadays, we don't need a lot of cortisol. Lift heavy weights, 45 minutes, maybe 1 hour max, go home. Number 3 is compete. Now, you can see these gorillas fighting chess, right? Humans are hardwired to compete. Now, before I get into this, let me explain why competing actually boosts your testosterone. And it actually makes a lot of logical sense, which is the reason why I'm going to explain it. Now, I'm not exactly sure, about 8 billion people in the world, right? And usually, obviously it's not exactly that, 4 billion women, 4 billion men. But back then, it was the same thing, obviously not 8 billion people, but one guy will be competing to get all 5 of the women. It wouldn't be one guy getting the one woman, other guy getting the other one, and they all live happily ever after. It was not like that. So men would compete to get the same mate, to compete for that mate. So when you're in competition, your body pretty much tells you, fuck, I need to win this. I need to get the mate. So your testosterone goes up, your cognitive thinking goes up, you get stronger, you get more aggressive. Why? In order to get the mate. And I know subconscious now, you don't think, wow, playing a chess game, or I need to win this to win a mate over. That's not how it works. But this is how our bodies are hardwired. So several studies have shown that competition significantly increases your testosterone. Box, do martial arts, heavy lifting competitions with your friends, you could bench more, play chess, just be in constant competition. Now, that has been the end of the video. Join the free Discord server if you're on self-improvement. The journey to the top 1% is hard. You need like-minded people around you on the same journey as you so you could discuss things, try get to other stages. Plus, there's further information about testosterone and muscle growth that I don't talk about in this channel. And if you don't know the symptoms of high testosterone, it's basically just what you would want as a man. It's more muscle mass, more fat loss, increased confidence, you're more ruthless, you don't really care about things, your anxiety goes. It's very, very good. So, if you'd like to increase your testosterone levels, go check out my other videos, join the Discord, start networking. I'll see you in the next video.